welcome to another episode on The Unspoken. Today's episode topic is, why do some people improve their lives faster than others? You often hear people being like, you want a better life? Okay, they give you a list of things to do, basically. They're like, do this and do that and wake up early and they just give you a whole list of things to do. You do it and your life still hasn't improved. In fact, sometimes it gets even worse. And now, why is that? Because there is a myth of fast improvement. Now, the myth of fast improvement. We're taught that people who improve quickly are more gifted, more motivated, more fortunate, more talented. But the pattern doesn't hold. Why? Because talented people still stall. Talented people still stay where they are. Motivated people end up burning out. And yes, this is a script. Guys, I cannot memorize everything I'm gonna say. Again, talented people stall, they stay where they are, they have a hard time moving forward. And people who are motivated, for a while they're like, but then they end up burning out. So the truth is, improvement speed, how fast you improve, has less to do with who you are and what you do and how you take action, and more to do with how you respond. So it's more about how you react than how you react. And I know you hear everybody telling you, don't react, just act. But no matter what, you're still going to react. Things are going to happen in your life and you're still going to react. And yes, because I agree to an extent, choose when you act. Don't just react to what's happening around you blindly. Choose when to act and how to act. But you also have to choose how to react. You have to plan that. That's strategic. Reactions are strategic. Why? Because things are going to happen. You're not in control of everything. So if something out of your control happens, then that's when you react to that. And again, reactions are strategic. So again, improvement speed has less to do with who you are and more to do with how you respond. Progress isn't loud, it is structural. Take notes, guys. Pen and paper. Even I took notes, and these are mine. Okay. Speed is about correction, not effort. We are going to merge correction, readiness, and delay. The key difference isn't how much effort you put in. The key difference between a person who improves their life fast and achieves their goals fast, and somebody who is trying so hard but they're stuck where they are. The difference between these two people is not effort. Why? Because both put in effort. Actually, sometimes the person who is exceeding in their life puts in less effort than the person who is stuck where they are. Because in reality, it's not about effort. It's about how long someone stays misaligned. What does that mean? Well, fast improvers being people who improve fast. Fast improvers notice friction early and adjust before frustration becomes identity. Now, what does that mean? People who improve more fast notice friction earlier. And by friction, I mean possible problems. Maybe and that could be anywhere, like any issue or problem that could possibly get in the way of you living your life or you achieving your goals or whatever. That's what I mean by friction. And they notice that early on, whether it's mentally, whether it's inwards or outwards, anything that could possibly stop or delay what you want to do. If you are a fast improver, you will notice that early on, which you don't have to that's not something that's you're born with, just keep an eye out. So you notice these things early on and then adjust before frustration becomes identity, meaning you fix it before it can even happen. So what I'm trying to say is prevention over fixation. Or no, fixation, that's not what fixation means, but you get the point. You want to prevent the problem before it happens. Because if you notice that there's a problem starting to happen or about to happen or beginning to happen early on, then you can prevent it before it gets too bad, before it gets in the way, right? Because you need to stop it from getting in your way in the first place, right? It's easier and it takes less time than having to fix it after it's there. Slow improvers, people who improve slowly, wait for certainty, and stay stuck out of loyalty to old plans. Now, what does this mean? Wait for certainty means that if they see a problem beginning to form, coming up ahead in the highway, it's instead of immediately starting to try to fix the problem and prevent it before it happens, they're wait. They wait until they're certain that problem is actually a problem. And obviously they're not certain that the problem is a problem until it happens and it gets in their way, right? So for example, you know when you're driving and the GPS, whatever, just tells you there's a car crash ahead. Fast improver would take, if it's possible, take another route around the car crash or like just to avoid the car crash so that they don't get stuck in traffic. Meanwhile, a slow improver would be like, oh, there's a car crash, but it might have been gone. Like, this might be an old signal. The car crash might not be there anymore, you know, like I might still be, but they wait for certainty. And obviously there is no certainty until they actually see the car crash. So 9 times out of 10, they get stuck in traffic because they're waiting to see the car crash because they're like, well, I'm not sure if it's there. Like, it might just be an old signal because that happens sometimes, right? No. Always be cautious. And I don't mean cautious as if you're living cautiously, like you're always alert, you're always just like looking around. No, not anxiety cautious. I mean, you're doing what you're supposed to do. Girl, I'm thinking of an expression in Arabic and I don't know how to explain it, but like, okay, y'all get the point though, right? So now that we understand the difference between a fast improver and a slow improver, let's talk about the unspoken rule. Because again, we were on the unspoken. Waiting doesn't make decisions safer, it makes them heavier. And what does that mean? I think it's pretty straightforward what that means, but if you see a problem coming ahead, don't wait until you're absolutely certain that, yep, it's a problem. Yep, it's right in my face. It's actually happening to me, so now I'm certain. No, you're not gonna wait. It doesn't make your decision any safer, it just makes it harder. It makes it heavier. It's personally, I believe it is safer. And honestly, life experience has shown that it is safer to make a decision on how to fix the problem, how to prevent a problem before it happens. Why? Because yeah, you could learn how to fix the problem even better after it happens because then you can analyze the problem better or whatever, but why would you need to do that if you've already prevented it from happening from the beginning? All right? Identity is an accelerator. So now we're going to merge identity, motivation, and discipline. Most people try to change their habits. Meanwhile, fast improvers change their self-definition. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on who they believe they are. Now, what does this mean? Let's go to the first point. Most people try to change habits. So usually, the first thing most people think of when they want to improve their life or improve themselves, usually they think of, well, I want to change my bad habits, which is not wrong. That is 100% correct. But they wait until their bad habits are gone to believe my bad habits are gone. They're not gonna, they wait for their mindset to match their reality. You know how everybody says Delulu's a Salulu? It's not just a trend. Delulu, it really is the Salulu, guys. I promote delusion used in the correct way. Why? Because fast improvers change self-definition. Meaning, before they even think about changing their habits, they first change their mindset. They first get all Delulu in the head and say, I believe that I have the willpower and ability to resist this bad habit. I believe that this bad habit is no longer a habit. Starting now, it is no longer a habit. I do not do that anymore. And they make that their mindset. Even if they haven't overcome that habit, even if they're still struggling to make it stop being a bad habit, in their brain, it's gone. It's not a habit anymore. Why? Because if your brain believes, if you trick yourself, and yeah, consciously you know that, okay, it's not gone, but I'm just gonna gaslight myself. If your subconsciousness believes that, khalos, it's gone, it's a bad habit, and it's gone, I don't do it anymore, then it's gonna be easier for you to avoid it than if you still believe, but it's still a bad habit, and I'm still trying. No, I'm not trying, I don't even have to try, it's gone. I'm not doing that anymore. That bad habit, that thing I'm trying to avoid and not to do, it's not a habit anymore. It's not a habit at all. I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. Khalas, it's gone. It's out of my head. And if that's what my brain believes, then that's what will happen. Okay? Because maybe consciously I know that my bad habit is still a bad habit and I'm still trying to get rid of it. But subconsciously, I've told myself so many times that khalas, it's not a habit anymore. It's gone. That my subconsciousness believes it. And if my subconsciousness believes it, again, it's so much easier to avoid doing it because you genuinely, on the inside, you genuinely believe that you don't want to do it anymore. And again, the difference between subconsciousness and consciousness, Google it if you don't know. Another point, I almost forgot. They don't rely on motivation. So if I want to get rid of my bad habit, I'm not going to rely on motivation. I'm going to rely on who I believe I am and obviously disciplined consistency. Guys, you know that saying, consistency over perfectionism? That's exactly what you need to do. Why? Because instead of being motivated to do, obviously motivation is amazing, but motivation wears off. So if in the beginning when I'm trying to get rid of a bad habit, or I'm trying to start a new good habit, I'm super motivated in the beginning, obviously, because it's brand new and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited that I'm finally getting rid of this bad habit. I'm so excited that I'm starting to do something new that's good for me, right? What is that? That is motivation. But eventually, you get used to it and you get tired and your motivation wears off. So then it's like, this is good for me, but like, I'm getting tired. I don't want to do this anymore. Why? Because the motivation is gone. So instead of relying solely on motivation, you have to rely on being disciplined and consistent. No matter how tired you are, no matter how much you want to go back into that bad habit, no. You have to stop yourself. You don't let yourself, no matter how tired, no matter how much you want, because the motivation will be gone. The motivation, you're not going to want to do it anymore, but you have to do it because it's good for you. It's like homework. It's like taking your medicine. It's like going to the gym if you go to the gym. It's like getting up every morning to go to work or to go to school, right? No matter how tired you are, no matter how much you don't want to do it, you still have to do it. You're not going to want to, but you have to. Because after a while, the motivation, the initial excitement is going to wear off. So you can't rely 100% on motivation. Motivation is only there to help you start. You have to discipline yourself and be consistent to keep going. So again, fast improvers do not rely on motivation. They rely on who they believe they are. Why? Because I believe that I am the type of person who, no matter what, this is a non-negotiable and I will do this all the time. Going to the gym is a non-negotiable. I will go to the gym all the time. Eating sugar, avoiding sugar is a non-negotiable. No matter how much I crave it, no matter how much I want chocolate so bad, I'm not going to eat it. That is who I am now. It is completely non-negotiable. Set your non-negotiables. Next, movements create clarity. And what does that mean? Well, we're going to merge thoughts to action gap and readiness. I bet you have no idea what that means. Me neither. What this means is that clarity, hold on a second. What this means is that clarity comes before action. Well, first we're going to read off the initial points I have and then I will elaborate on them as I have been doing. Clarity does not come before action. It comes after. Fast improvers shrink the gap between thinking and acting. They move while doubt is quiet and fear has it rehearsed. Now, what does that mean? First, clarity does not come before action. It comes after. So if I want to go to the gym, but I really don't want to, like I have to go to the gym and I said, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to work out and I'm going to be healthy and I'm going to exercise, but I don't want to, but I have to, right? You're not going to get clarity. You're not going to get clear-headed. You're not going to get, this was actually good for me. Oh my God, I'm so glad I did it, until after you did it. That's where the I'm so glad I did it comes from, right? Because you know the benefits from before. Before you do it, you know the benefits. You know it's good for you. But like, do I have to? You're not gonna actually see and feel the benefits of it until after you do it. I'm not going to see and feel the benefits of going to the gym until after I go to the gym. Because it's like, yeah, I know, like if I go to the gym, it'll be good for me, but like, I don't want to do it. But then after I go to the gym, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna be like, oh my God, that was so good for me. Like I feel myself getting stronger. I feel my mental health being better. Feel so refreshed now, even though I really was tired and I really didn't want to do it. And now that I actually did it, I feel so good, right? So clarity comes after. So you can't, again, that's another reason you can't depend on motivation. Sometimes you only feel motivated after you do it. Why? Because you're finally seeing the benefits only after you do it. Like, yeah, the process is tedious, but it's good for you. Like taking medicine. This next point is a very important one that a lot of people seem to miss. They don't romanticize struggle. This merges struggle, ego traps, and self-improvement myths. So many people romanticize struggles. Do you guys remember when, for some reason, it was a trend for everybody to act like they had some sort of mental illness? I'm telling you, everybody I know has fallen under that trap at some point. It's like, I have anxiety, hee hee hee. Girl, that's an ego trap. You cannot romanticize your struggles. Because it's like, you can't brag about not getting, no, I'm so serious. I see people bragging about having mental health struggles. I see people bragging about not being sleep deprived. I see people bragging about being sleep deprived and not getting enough sleep. I see people bragging about how they never eat healthy. Oh my god, I'm gonna get so fat. I always eat so much sugar. And they say it like they're bragging about it, like they're proud of it. Why? Because it's been romanticized. Not because you're a bad person. If you do this, I'm not calling you out, but not because you're a bad person. Not because what you're doing is wrong. I mean, what you're doing technically is wrong, but not because what you're doing is wrong, but because the world, the society, the community has just romanticized going through something, has just romanticized struggling, has just romanticized being unhealthy. You can't improve if you're happy being unhealthy, being in a bad place. How am I supposed to improve if I don't want to leave the bad place that I'm in? Because if I'm happy being in a bad place, why would I want to leave it? You can't romanticize your struggles. And I know a lot of people be like it's okay. Like, a lot of people go through this, so I mean, obviously it is okay, and a lot of people do go through it, and you shouldn't be ashamed of anything that you're going through, but at the same time, you're not going to be like, you're proud of it. Because if you're going through something, if you're proud of the bad thing that you're going through, then you're not going to want to change it. You're not going to want to improve. So I know that everybody is always like, it's okay, struggling is productive. It is not productive. Like, grinding for homework, sure, that's productive. Sure, struggling on your math homework, the struggle itself is not productive. It is the getting over the struggle that is productive. And that's what a lot of people seem to misunderstand. Like, oh, it's okay, you're struggling to do your math homework. Well, like, you're still being productive. No, getting over the struggle is being productive. You don't want to stay in the struggle. You don't want to stay stuck in the struggle, because then you're just going to stay stuck where you are. Because I know that, like, I think this seems like it's something that's so obvious, like, duh, I can't be happy struggling. But a lot of people are happy struggling. It's just been romanticized in community. Not all struggle is productive. Some struggle is misdirection. Some struggle is ego attachment. And some struggle is fear in disguise. And what do I mean by those? Fear in disguise, and you're scared of change. I want to improve and I want to change my life, but I'm scared because I've been where I am I've been stuck in this place that I'm stuck in for such a long time that I don't know what it's like to not be in this place anymore. I don't know what it's like. I've gotten so used to being in this struggle, being stuck where I am, that I've just gotten comfortable, right? So that would be fear in disguise, when you romanticize your struggle because you're scared of being uncomfortable and being... So here's a question to ask yourself when you want to move forward, but you just feel like you can't. Have my struggles been romanticized? Have I romanticized where I am right now, even though I'm struggling, just because I've gotten used to being here, that I've gotten myself comfortable? Fast improvers ask themselves, is this actually moving me forward? Because some people like to create the illusion that I'm struggling, so I feel like I'm exerting effort, so I feel like I should be moving forward because I'm exerting effort, because I'm struggling. And then it just becomes a whole cycle, because the more I exert effort into a struggle, the more that I struggle even more because I'm tired, the more that I get stuck, the more that I want to get out of being stuck, the more that I exert more effort, and then it's a cycle, and it goes over and over and over again. And it just creates the illusion that I should be productive, that I should be moving forward, and I should be gaining something. Why? Because I'm exerting more effort. So instead of asking yourself, why is this so hard? You're gonna ask yourself, is this moving me forward? And if it is not moving me forward, then how can I make it move me forward? You have to break that cycle. Analyze your problem and come up with a list of, not one solution, a list of solutions. Why? Because resilience is key. A list of solutions. Okay, this solution would work the best. This solution is easiest for me. But if that doesn't work, then I have a plan B. If that doesn't work, if something goes wrong there, then I know that I could do this as well. You have to be resilient. So not only are you gonna ask, is this moving me forward? You're gonna ask, how can I make it move me forward? Why? Because struggling without direction is just delay. If you're struggling without actually moving, if you're struggling to stay where you are, then you're delaying your further success. You're delaying your moving forward. If you're struggling to stay where you are, then you first have to find an easy way to stay where you are. Because if you're unable to even stay where you are, then you're just gonna stay stuck. I mean, you're gonna move back, and that's even worse than being stuck. Next point, here's something that a lot of people seem to not realize. It's always about being self-made, and I'm moving myself forward, and I'm doing everything. I'm the only one who can help myself succeed. No, the environment that you're in does most of the heavy lifting. Why? Because improvement is not internal, not only obviously internal, but not only internal. Improvement is also very much external. It depends on what environment you are in and what environment you choose to put yourself in. Have you ever heard the saying, go to an environment where you're already better at everybody else at what you do to succeed, and then go to an environment where you're worse than everybody else at what you do to learn? Because then you can use that to succeed even more in the first environment, right? Improvement is engineered. Fast improvers design their surroundings. If you can't choose, and if you are struggling in the environment that you are in to succeed, and you are not in a place where you can choose a different environment, then make your own environment. You are going to look for people. You are going to go, it's so easy for us now because we can go online. You're going to look for that community online that you can succeed in, for the people that are like, oh my gosh, you have the skill, wow, that's amazing, I could never do that. You're gonna look for those people, because those are the people who are going to make you a success. Because if you have a skill that everybody else in that community, in that environment is lacking, then, oh my gosh, wow, you can do this, that is so amazing, that is so cool, I could never, I need to know more people who can do it. Then they're just gonna buy it. They're gonna like, here's all my money, come give me your services, because I can't do it for myself. And in this community that I'm in, nobody can do that. So take all I'll give you everything I have, come give me your services, come do this for me. Why? Because they can't do it themselves, and they don't know anybody else who can do it themselves. So if in the environment you're currently in, you are not prosperous, maybe there's other people who are better at you than what you do. Maybe there's other people who already do what you do and it's super common. You're gonna go find either on the internet or just a group of people that are sheltered or whatever. Go look for your own community, go look for your own people who don't know what the hell you're doing, and they're like, that's so cool. They want what you have, but they can't provide it for themselves, so they kind of need you for it. Look for people who need you to succeed, and look for people who you need to learn. Because yeah, in this environment that I'm in right now, there's other people who are better than me. I'm gonna take advantage of that and learn from those people who are better than me, so I can input it back into the other community that I've built myself of people who need me, so that I can give them even more and they can give me even more money, right? Okay, I know I'm only looking from a money perspective, but like, finances are important. The next thing, something very important, whatever you do, don't tell anybody. You're planning a project, you're starting a business, you're doing something big, don't make the first thing that you do tell people. Telling other people, guys, I'm starting a business, that should not be one of the first things you do. That should be one of the last steps. Not even a step. That should be one of the last things you do. The first thing you want to do is to plan and organize and start building whatever you're building, whatever your project, business, whatever you want to do. Start making it yourself without telling anybody. You don't need validation. You don't need applause. You don't need other people to agree with you. You're gonna do it yourself. Why? Because if in the early starting stages, when you're still planning and you're still unsure, and you go and tell people, you're gonna start depending. There's gonna be several different situations. Either you're gonna start depending on people's validation, you're gonna start depending on other people's applause to keep you motivated, to convince you to keep doing it. And the second people start applauding you, you're gonna lose your motivation. That's number one. Number two, maybe you'll tell somebody and they're gonna start judging you because they're stupid and unopen-minded. They're gonna start judging you and be like, really? Are you sure you want to do this? I don't know, it's a bad idea. And then you're just gonna feel bad about yourself and you're not gonna wanna do it anymore, even if it's a good idea. Why? Because other people don't know everything. Other people don't know like what's gonna work for you. But you're putting all your dependence on them and their opinions. Like, even if that's not the type of person you are, and you're all, I would never like use other people to validate myself, it'll still be there subconsciously. Why? Because no matter what type of person you are, validation from others, applause from others feels good for everybody. So like, no matter what, you don't want to tell people because it's going to dictate what you do. And the unspoken truth of this section, some decisions are meant to be quiet so that they can be effective. You don't want to tell everybody what you're doing. And the next point, which is also the last point, the real reason that this feels unfair. And of course it feels unfair. Why? Because I first of all started off by telling you that people with talent and people with motivation are probably going to stay stuck in their place. They're not going to get ahead. The people who do get ahead are the people with the right environment and connections. So yeah, of course it's not fair. But the real reason it feels unfair, watching somebody improve quickly can feel personal. Like, I've been sitting here trying for freaking years to succeed and to gain and to achieve what you are achieving. And I'm watching you get it in a matter of like months, of weeks. It feels personal. But obviously speed doesn't come from ease. I'm not going to succeed fast by doing things the easy way. Actually, sometimes it is the easy way. You just have to be strategic. Even the easy way isn't easy. Feeling unfair or feeling less unfair and feeling more confident about yourself, that comes from fewer internal debates. You're not debating with yourself, you're not loathing yourself, you're not anything, you're not going to feel bad about yourself. Faster self-correction. You're going to, as soon as you notice you're making a mistake or a problem's about to happen, you're going to prevent it right away. And now, homework. I created a worksheet that if you would like, you could choose to buy. But if you do not choose to buy it, I have some steps for you. I want you to take out a journal, take out a notebook, whatever. Write down your goal. First of all, whatever goal, whatever it is you want to achieve, whatever project you want to build, whatever it is that you want to do, you're going to write down your goal. You're going to write down what it is, why you want to do it, how you're going to do it. Your action plan. Step by step, you're going to write down everything that you need to do in order to achieve this goal. And then you're going to write a backup plan in case something goes wrong, in case you're unable to finish something, in case life circumstances happen and get in the way. What are you going to do? You have your backup plan. And then an extra resilience sheet. If something goes wrong and it's beyond your imagination that your backup plan doesn't work for it because something happened that you never thought could happen, you need to be resilient. First, you're going to say what you originally wanted to do. Then you're going to say what went wrong, why you can't do what you originally wanted. Then you're going to say, well, since it went wrong before, I'm not going to give up on my goal. No, I'm going to find another way to get to my goal. Now, how do I do that? And you're going to really think about it, ponder, brainstorm, write it down. What am I going to do? And once you have an idea, you're going to write step by step. Create a whole new list. Again, your goal and your new plan, now that you figured out what to do after the last things went wrong. Make sure to make it a checklist so you can check it off. The more you check off, the more motivated you'll be to move on to the next step. And that is it. That is my podcast episode for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions for topics that you would like me to talk about, just leave them down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. You all have an amazing day.
Okay.